welcome back to That Dad Guy. It's June 1st, 2023, which means happy birthday, Eric. It's your birthday. Woohoo! And yeah, what else it is? It's really hot here. Okay, Lewis, I know you're watching. It's not United Arab Emirates hot. I know I got the joke last time you sent it that 43 degrees there does not equate to what it is here. But still, it's 35 degrees, feels like 38 today. And tomorrow it's going to be 10 and raining. So it went from 3 days ago, about 12 degrees. And then it went up to 23, 24. And then yesterday was 30. And then today is 35. At least with the humidity, it's like 38. And then tomorrow it's going to start raining, which we desperately need for the forest fires that are around. But it's also going to take a huge drop in temperature. It's going to be about 10 tomorrow. I think it's going to be 8 or 6 on Saturday. And then just kind of be stuck in the teens for a little while. Next week, I think maybe the high we'll get will be about 19. So some of the rain and colder weather that we were supposed to have in May, we're now getting at the start of June. But as of today, it is hot. At least hot for here. It is like a deep summer day right now. But that's not why I tuned in today to talk about the weather. I always touch on a little bit if it changes a lot. But I want to talk about this, which is kind of funny. There's some stamps in here. And then I've got some postcards that I want to show you that were given to me today. And yeah, and we're also pretty close to 800 subscribers. When I last looked over my shoulder, it was showing 798, so we're 2 away. If you're watching this and you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment so we can interact and share with other people. I want to get that over the hump real quick into 800 and then moving quickly towards 900. We want to get as many people watching as possible, and the faster we can grow, the better it will be. I hope anyways, that's the theory. Maybe it won't. Maybe the more people that watch this, the more it will go to my head. I'm just happy people watch, that I'm not just here talking to myself, talking into the camera, and every once in a while people sent me a comment and I can respond to it, which is good too. We've got some things coming up this week. Tomorrow is Friday, so I'm going to show you the mail that has come in for post-crossing and direct swaps. Saturday is That Dad Guy answers. So all the answers you sent in for the question I did for the month of May will be revealed, and I'll give you a new question for the month of June. That's where we are now. That you can hear the response to those the first Saturday in July. So those things are coming up. Let's get to today. Today I want to start with let's start with stamps today first. So friend of the family, Susan, was going through some of her old things, and she sent me a message and she said, would you be interested in a few stamps? And I said, sure. And so yesterday when we were walking, her and her husband and dog came by, Susan and Mike came by, and she dropped off this duotang, or folder, and you can see it says Stamp Collection Susan on it. Susan is not a young girl anymore, but they're very respectfully. This was done by Susan when she was in Brownies, so it was just a couple years ago, and I appreciate that she was ready to part with it and thought of me to send it to. So I'm gonna turn the camera around so you can actually see it. All right, so here we go with Susan's rating of the time, and she did this brownie project. You can see she sorted them by country, so you get a chance to see a few different ones. There's a hinge stamp that has left, it's not there anymore. United States, she had two stamps there for that one. England, you can see. The vintage is a little bit older. Ireland, we got a couple there. And she wasn't sure if she just found all these stamps around the house and put it together or how she collected them, but she did collect them this way. So let me just put these in order here. There's one for France, and she's got one here for Italy. And then we've got one here for Spain. Nice. I think I actually have this complete set. They were sent to me, so it's really nice. And then Poland, here we've got an Olympic one, 1968. So might give you a vintage of when these stamps came out, some of them maybe. I doubt it was in 1968. I think it was probably a little bit further along. I'm not going to say that Susan was doing this stamp back then, but I really like these ones from the Philippines. And then we have got some Greece. I very much enjoy her writing on it too. Very tidy printing. Susan, you did a good job. I'm not sure how old you were at the time when you did it, but I think if you were to get a badge out of it, you probably got the badge. Here's some ones from Libya. And then Uganda. You can see some of the hinges are starting to come apart. Kenya. But it's been kept in pretty good condition. Botswana. Nigeria. So for those people that are collecting birds or shells or flowers, these all kind of fit into that scheme of things. And there's probably some places here we don't even exist anymore. There might be a few. Ghana and Zaire. That's an interesting one there too. 1973. South Africa. Here was Queen Elizabeth in the corner. Elizabeth II. And here we have Hong Kong. You can see this was back when it was part of the British Empire. It now belongs to China again, when the lease was up. And if you see a little break in the video between when Hong Kong and that, it's because I got a phone call right in the middle, so I had to take it. It had to do with my daughter's apartment in Montreal. And here are Barbados. That's a little bit older there with the king on it. And Bermuda. Nice bird one from Uruguay. Chile and Guatemala. So there you have it. That's a fun collection of stamps. I really appreciate that, Susan, being able to go through that and see the variety that's there. Let me just fix this camera a little bit. There we go. Now I'm not so low in the thing that my head is sticking out the top. The next thing I want to show you are some postcards that my friend Jennifer from work found when she was away. And they're all activity postcards. Let's put it that way. That some people send a postcard and that's it. You see it, you put it away. Maybe you're a stamp collector and you're not into postcards and you take the stamp off of it. Maybe you're not into postcards, but you're into activities. Here might be a way that you can get your very own lighthouse. You can see on the back, you could cut it out and put it together. On the front, it says, mail a New Brunswick lighthouse, as it has become increasingly difficult to clear airport security with an authentic New Brunswick lighthouse. There you go. Or maybe you're into moose and you want your very own moose. And it says the most convenient way to send your loved ones an authentic Canadian moose, as it has become increasingly difficult to clear airport security with a standard moose. You can do that and put him together. Perhaps you're into birds and you want a puffin. You can mail a puffin. And it says the most convenient way to send your loved ones an authentic, because it's hard to get through customs. Yeah, it's the same spiel on every one of them. There's a puffin. Maybe you want a beaver. This particular beaver you can put together and it will look like this. It even gives you the instructions of where to fold and everything along the back. You want something specifically from this part of the country. You want to mail yourself a lobster, of course. So there you've got the claws and the tail and the head and all the rest. So there we have a lobster. Perhaps you want something a little bigger from the ocean. You can mail yourself a whale. So someone might be getting a whale in the mail because it rhymes. Or you want what no one else has because they're so hard to find. Here's a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot. There is how to put together your very own Bigfoot. Or maybe that's not your thing. You don't want animals. You want that. You just want a lumberjack. We've got lumberjacks in Canada, so let's mail out one of them to you. So there are your mail something postcards. Lots of fun, something completely different. I really appreciate that she found those. There are a lot of postcards that are very, here's a picture of this and that are in our area. So I think these are kind of fun because these things are all in our area. Well, maybe everything. I don't know about this one, if that's in our area, but we've got everything else that is here in our area. So it's kind of neat to be able to send that. I think I have received one before. I may have even sent one before. I think Eric found one and sent it to me from Toronto that I was able to mail out. But I left it as is. I kept the postcard, I kept the stamp and everything and put it in my collection. But maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you want to take it all apart and do it. It gives you that option. So that's the great thing about post-crossing and sending stuff in the mail. When you get it, it's yours. Do with it what you want. Put it in an album, save it, look at it from time to time. Cut the stamp off it, steam the stamp off it, put that in your collection. Cut up the postcard and make another postcard out of it, maybe. I don't know. It's yours now. Do what you want. So that may be coming to someone's mailbox. I appreciate it. Thank you to Susan and Jennifer for giving me these things that I can show off again in today's video. Hopefully you guys are having a beautiful week. If you happen to be in the Maritimes and you're being affected by the wildfires, I hope that things work out well and the brave crews that are fighting them get them under control, and we can get some normalcy back again and get the aid that these people need to get their lives back in order. And on that note, have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye.